Right,
So that's
exactly, right.
mhm.
So if you think about what teachers can do best, they can look at students and see how they're responding to uh, material, or how they're responding to certain topics in conversation, and you can see it in their body language, their eyes, their face, and you can see when somebody is motivated or is getting what is being said versus somebody who is a little, maybe they don't get the material at first go, and that is a qualitative signal that only teachers can get. And on the other hand, the quantitative side comes from these AI tutors, because they know how many times a student had to retake a quiz, exactly which questions they tripped up in, and where they need extra support. And all of a sudden, you have both sides of the coin, which allows you to design and develop a holistic learning experience. So for me, I'm just so excited about what is available for education in this day and age versus what was available back in the day.
Right, exactly. One thing you mentioned, Saram, was cognitive load, and that's
Hmm.
something in my field in education, but especially in instructional design, that we're always trying to keep at the forefront. And I always remind my students about that because it's based on cognitive psychology that our brain, our working memory, can only handle so much information. And so if we
Hmm.
put too much on the students, if we info dump on them, uh, and the technology is too much for them, if that's a barrier to them, then they're going to struggle, right? And
Hmm. Exactly.
they're not going to get that. So we don't want to put any barriers in front of them. We want to make sure that it's accessible for them and that they feel like they're not having to work around things or anything
Right.
like that to try to get to what they need to. So yeah, so it's nice when these tools can help them with that. And like you said, then the teachers and the educators can focus on what they need to do to help that learning move forward and to help them have those moments where they go, oh, I understand that now, and
Hmm.
now I can take this into the workplace and I can apply it. Because the program I teach for, they do it's project based learning, which is really great. I love that because they're able to they don't there's only maybe one or two papers in the whole entire program of the courses I teach. All of the rest of the assignments are all project based, where they have to literally do this. And I have a course I'm teaching right now, you'd love this, where they have to use an AI tool twice. So they have one assignment that's about situational leadership, and they have these prompts for these for the four readiness styles, and they have to take the prompt, put it into an AI tool, and converse with that tool
Hmm.
and get that individual. So the AI tool, like ChatGPT, plays the employee, and then they play the instructional designer. And so they have this conversation with them, working with them as the leader and trying to get them to move from one leadership style to the next, or one situational model to the next. So it's very interesting to do that. And then another one they did that I'm grading this weekend is where they had to build an e-learning module on it was for like a fake tech company about their
Uh-huh.
policies and procedures. And so they had to
Interesting.
use the tool to help kind of build that content and refine it. So but it's funny because some of my students they feel like, and I think even educators do too, but some of my students actually told me in messages and in their reflection afterwards that they felt like they were cheating. And I was like, really? That's surprising.
Suddenly
You
you
felt
have
like you
all
were
these
cheating.
superpowers, right?
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, but yet educators, they're like, they think in the back of their mind. So many of them, I've been to webinars where they think in the back of their mind and they'll type it in. They'll be like, how do I know if my students' DQ responses are genuine or not? How do I know if they're not just
Hmm.
utilizing AI? And I'm like, well, yeah, I
Well,
mean,
chances are
but
they are.